Good evening, everyone. Are we nice and snuggly and warm in front of our computer screens? I certainly hope so, because we are going to take a visit, a trip if you will, to the little resort town of Silent Hill. Now, Silent Hill is an action-adventure game created by Konami in '99, and it is of the survival horror brand. The fear of blood tends to create fear for the flesh. And we're going to take a moment to just enjoy this opening. Here is our protagonist on the left, that's Harry and his unnamed wife. That is his little daughter Cheryl, who we're going to get to know very well over the course of the game. I was first introduced to Silent Hill in, I would say probably late in 2000 by one of my friends who knew that I liked survival horror games from playing the Resident Evil series, and that sparked a love affair that I have with this series that I would like to say is still continuing till today, but as far as I'm concerned, this game series is long over. Now, the opening that we're watching is a little different, just a little different than what you would get the first time you boot this game up, because I've already gone through it one time, so I could get prepared to play it again. I also want to unlock some of the content to show you guys, but I didn't get as far as I wanted. And we are playing this on my PlayStation 3. It was originally released on the PlayStation. I love the way the music in this game sounds. This opening theme is really good, but the game is just full of good music. Okay, now, we have the options here of load and continue, because I've already gone through the game once, but what we're actually going to do is start over from the very beginning, at least just for the opening of the game, because when you start the game from the very beginning, you get special, well, let's just say you get a special opening that you do not get when you continue the game from a save file that has already been completed. Also, if we go into the options, we get all the basic stuff. We can change our brightness, we can configure our controller, and so forth and so on. But if we hit L or R, we get extra options. We have these extra options because I've beaten the game. And we can change the way we use our weapons. We can even change the color of the blood that the enemies will bleed. We're going to use the normal settings for all this stuff. But we have down here a special, it's called bullet adjustment. Normally in most survival horror games, your supplies are limited, and you've got to be very careful with them. But one of the rewards you get for beating this game, each time over and over and saving it, is you get a bullet adjustment. So you will get that multiple of bullets from each ammunition pickup. We're actually going to leave it at 1 for the time being. I don't think we need the multiplier. So we are going to start a game from the very beginning. And it doesn't really matter what we pick right now, but I do want to give some advice to you guys playing for the first time. Start on easy. It's not necessarily so much that the game is hard and you want to start on easy, but as you beat the game, and you'll get the chance to restart the game from the beginning with all the score that you have and the things that you've unlocked, difficulty level will keep going up. So if you start at easy, by the time you're on your 3rd or 4th playthrough, that's when it will be its hardest. Oh, the game has decided to go into attract mode on me. I was talking too much. I don't want to give away too much, so we're just going to hit start. I almost wanted to say Resident Evil. Alright, here's our main character, our main man, Harry Mason. And no, he is not the avatar of Raymond Burr. He is our protagonist of this story. Now, the manual says he's 32 years old and he's a writer. His wife died a few years back, and he's raising his daughter on his own. And that will be our loading screen for most of the game. Harry just kind of running off into the pitch darkness. Cheryl, where could you be? It's strange. It's quiet, too quiet. This place is like a ghost town. Cheryl. Now, there is voice acting in this game, but certain parts of it have it and certain parts don't. In addition, I'm playing it on my PlayStation 3, so we may not get proper sound all the time. But here is Harry. And Harry has good old tank controls. We press left or right to turn him to the left or right. Forward on the directional pad to walk forward. Back to walk back. And he can run if we hold down the square button. And if we hold down the square button and press back, it does this little back step. You can also strafe to the left and to the right, although I don't put that to much use. And we do that with the L1 and R1 buttons respectively. He can ready his weapon with R2, but he doesn't have one right now. And if we hit L2, we'll position the camera right behind him. So, let's start exploring. Footsteps. Is that her, Harry?
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl? Where are you going? Hey, wait! Stop!
Well, you better go get her, guy. Now it's snowing out, and it's very foggy, so it's hard to see too far ahead of us. This was done for a couple of reasons. The most obvious was because of the hardware limits. It was hard getting the draw distance on these earlier PlayStation games. Well, actually, I guess it wasn't such an early PlayStation game, but it was hard getting draw distance on these games. So the fog effect makes it easier on the system. But also, a very clever way was it adds to the atmosphere of the game. And that's disgusting. What the? What is it? Well, the sign said beware of dog, but I guess the dog should have been where. Alright, Cheryl must have gone down here somewhere. Yes, Harry, if we're not careful running, will run right in the walls. Now, you probably can't hear it just yet, but he will eventually get out of breath. He'll get tired, and he'll start to slow down. That's strange. It's getting darker. Better than nothing, I guess. Alright. Harry's using his lighter to light the way. Oh, what's this over here? A broken wheelchair. What's this doing here? I really like the framing in these shots, and the way the camera moves as you move. What's this? Well, it looks like a gurney to me, Harry. blood and rust and metal and grates everywhere.
What is this? What's going on here?
Alright, and here come our first group of enemies. And we have no way to defend ourselves, so we have got to run. Run before they get us. No, Harry, don't be running. Ah, watch out! Don't be running in the walls. We have no items, no way to heal ourselves, no weapons to defend ourselves. We can only run. Blocked by a fence. Oh, there's gotta be another way. Don't give up. Ah, bugger. Beginning of the game and I already got killed. Nah, not really. But I honestly did believe that the first time I played. I thought for sure I screwed up. But here's the next character of our game.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm all right, I guess.
Glad to hear it. You from around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist. I came here for a vacation. I just got here. I don't know what happened. I'd like to find out myself.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen a little girl? Just turned 7 last month, short, black hair. My daughter.
Sorry. The only person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre's going on. That's all I know. What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over.
Yep, she's the same cop we saw during the opening intro.
The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Have you got a gun?
No.
Take this, and hope you don't have to use it.
Now for video game logic, I think this is fine. But from a
Now listen to me.
storytelling perspective, I think it's a little weird
Before you pull the trigger,
that a
know
cop
who you're
just
shooting.
hands one of their guns to a random civilian like this.
And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake. Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Okay, we've got control of Harry again, and we just met Sybil. Now this is going to interrupt the flow of the game, the story a little bit, but now we're going to load the save of the new game, and we're going to see how things are a little different. Okay, so you can see the new game plus is called Next Fear. And we're starting over from the very beginning. And the game, instead of starting from Harry being in his car, starts at him waking up and meeting Sybil. This cutscene is no different. Their dialogue is no different either. So we're going to skip all of that. We're just going to start our game. Now here's our inventory screen. And here's our gun. So you can now see that Harry is carrying his firearm, and he can aim with the R2 trigger. We're going to start grabbing some items around here. This is the flashlight. This is going to be one of the most important items we're going to have in the game. It will let us see in the dark. Not only is that good for just the player, being able to see, Harry needs the light on to use his map, which we just found here. He'll also need the light on to pick up items and so forth. Oh, what was that? Someday, someone may experience these bizarre events. Hopefully, they will find my notes useful. So, like with a lot of survival horror games of the time, you would get a score at the end of the game depending on how well you did. And one of those scoring mechanics was how often you saved. So if you were trying to get a really high score, you would want to save as few times as possible. But we're not trying for a particularly high score, we're just trying to go through the game. So I will do as usual and save smart, save often. There are also lots of little references and Easter eggs and little goodies like that scattered throughout the game. If I can remember them or if I notice them, I will try to point them out to you. But those of you who are watching live who happen to notice any or happen to know any, feel free to mention them and I will try to point them out to our viewers. A radio. Is it broken? I can't hear anything. Okay, well, we got a map, we got a firearm, we even have a knife. We also have some health drinks. These health drinks are healing items. They're the weakest of healing items, but you know what? They're better than nothing. There's our knife. Yeah, hard to use, but better than nothing. But you know what? Whenever possible, I'm going to use the handgun instead of that knife.
What's that? Huh, radio. What's going on with that radio?
You know, if I ever had the chance to make a Silent Hill film, you know, a good one, I would do everything in my power to make sure that that line was in the game, in the movie. Alright, here's our first enemy. Well, our second enemy. The first enemy we actually get to fight. Alright, we shot it out of the air.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
Let's reload our gun. Actually, can't reload our gun. We don't have any extra bullets. Now, in the case of this monster, we shot it, knocked it out of the air, and it was dead. But that's not always the case with these enemies. A lot of times, if we hit the enemy enough or shoot it enough, it will drop. But that doesn't mean it's dead. To make sure that it's dead, you would go up to it and stomp the crap out of it until it was dead. We may get that chance with some enemies outside. The radio may be useful for something. I better take it with me. And we are going to take it with us. Because this radio is actually an early detection system for monsters. When there are monsters nearby, it will start to hiss and make white noise. Where could Cheryl have gone? I guess I'll check that alley again. Alright, so Harry is marking on the map where he wants to go. He's also marked on the map where the cafe is. So we're that green arrow, and if we make a right and go up Bachman, then make a left on Finley Street, we're going to find that same alley. But I'm going to take a look over here first. So if I remember correctly, yep, we have a health drink waiting for us. Like a lot of survival horror games, exploration is very important, but it's also dangerous. You may, find yourself tucked in some little corner and get all kinds of goodies that will help you survive, or you just might find a really ugly monster waiting to rip your face off. Usually you're just going to find an ugly monster waiting to rip your face off. But it's not so bad when you find yourself a little goodie. Because all those little goodies add up, and they add up quick. There's our next enemy, these horrible skinless dogs. But we're going to let them be for the time being. Alright, you little horrible knife-wielding monsters. Where are you? How good do you think you're going to do against a guy with a gun? And speaking of our gun, we found some handgun bullets. I think they're packages of 15. Yep. So if we had the multiplier on, instead of 15, we would get 30 or 45 or so forth. To school.
Isn't this Cheryl's sketchbook? She's at the school.
Well, Harry, I'm not entirely sure how you made that leap of logic. Unless maybe you think she left a note for you, saying that she's going to school. Sketchbook cover. This picture. It's me. The first picture that Cheryl drew in the sketchbook that I gave her on her 5th birthday. Right now, Cheryl is 7. Or at least that's what it says in the manual I have next to me. And we have the pipe. Mike Hagar's iconic weapon. And honestly, the pipe will serve us well for a good portion of the game. But still, the best thing to do is to avoid fighting enemies as much as possible. Now there should be 2 doggies waiting for us just outside this fence. I'm going to try to blast right past them. Alright, we got past one. Okay, I'm switching the camera. Oh, but ran right into that horrible flying monster. The monsters will chase you for a little bit, but they won't chase you for the entirety of the game. Oh, what's this? Found a convenience store. That probably means I'm going the wrong way. But hey, convenience store. Find some goodies. There's a real special goodie I'm hoping that's going to be in here, but I'm kind of doubting it. No, doesn't look like it. Sometimes there's a special item in here called a channeling stone. I think you only get it after you get a certain number of endings. This game has 5 endings altogether. The channeling stone is how you get one of those 5 endings. I'll probably have to save it for another day, but save point. Let's see. Okay, we're up there. We want to get down there. So we're just going to run down Finley Street, make a left turn at the end of the block, and just head off to the school. Alright, maybe not this way. Oh boy. Dogs and pteranodons. Not a good combo, but hey, it's our car. Oh my car. Too banged up to drive. Where's Cheryl? Hope she's safe. But we get a health drink. Crabs. So if we get hungry, we're coming back here. Harry, don't go running in the trees. Well, that looks like a problem. There's no road here. Okay, well, let's just go down Levin Street. Then we'll make the turn and head down Midwich. Serpentine, serpentine. Alright, that's a problem. This road is all tore up too. Oh, but there are notes. Doghouse, Levin Street. Oh, we were just over there. We saw a doghouse while we were running around. I didn't bring much attention to it. We did see it. There are dogs around here. Is that one? There's one. Now, if you're careful, you can knock these guys out of the air when they try to jump at you. That's what I think we're going to do with him. Didn't knock him out of the air. In fact, he's ruining my day. Now, you see Harry over there in the top left? Right now he's flashing orange. That means he's taking a bit of damage. If he's flashing red, that means he's hurt real bad. Now that he's green, he's back to full health. There we go. Knocked him out of the air. And put him down with a stomp. There's another one. Come here, you. Well, we're not going to do that too much. House key was hidden in the doghouse. Take it? Of course. Use the house key. And what do we have over here? First aid kit. Those are very strong healing items. It's locked. Well, in certain new games, that door will actually be open and will have a special weapon for us inside. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked it yet. But we have more ammo. You know what? I think we're going to drink that health drink. There are 3 locks and 4 lights. Something is written on the map hanging on the wall. Keys for Eclipse. Alright, we're going to copy it to the map. Alright, there is a circle over there on Elroy Street. A line through the alleyway behind the cafe, and an arrow pointing up to that bridge in the northeast corner. So we're going to go check those 3 places out.